Around 100 world leaders, tech bosses, academics and AI researchers are all in the UK to talk about how best to maximise the benefits of AI, artificial intelligence, and also, crucially, minimise the risks. And as the summit began, the government announced what it called a world-first agreement on how to manage the riskiest forms of AI. There's been criticism that some key leaders aren't there. Germany's Olaf Scholz, Emmanuel Macron from France. One person, though, who is there, Elon Musk, tech entrepreneur, of course, who lists the social media site X, formerly Twitter, and he has a keen interest in AI, and he spoke a little earlier.
I think AI is one of the biggest threats. I mean, we are, for the first time, we have a situation where there's something that is going to be far smarter than the smartest human. So, you know, we're not stronger or faster than other creatures, but we are more intelligent. And here we are for the first time, really in human history, with something that's going to be far more intelligent than us. So it's not clear to me we can actually control such a thing, but I think we can aspire to guide it in a direction that's beneficial to humanity. But I do think it's one of the existential risks that we face, and it's potentially the most pressing one. If you look at the time scale and the rate of advancement, I think the summit is timely, and I applaud the Prime Minister for holding it.
Right, let's try and work out what all this means. We can talk to Dan Hendricks, Director of the Centre for AI Safety and also a safety advisor to Elon Musk's AI company. Thank you very much for coming on the programme.
Thank you for having me.
What do you make of the summit so far, then?
I think it shows that countries can come together and coordinate to try to have regulations and standards for making AI safer. So a few months ago, people thought that this wouldn't be possible, that the US and China and the UK just couldn't come together and they're going to race with each other to build more powerful AI systems. But what this shows is that we can reduce these competitive pressures and quit this racing so that we can proceed forward with safety and the development of AI more cautiously and prudently.
And how optimistic are you that that actually happens?
So this is a necessary first step. I think it's still not completely clear if this event didn't happen this year, then I think it'd be very unlikely that we would have a possibility of coordination. Fortunately, there'll be more summits another summit in the next 6 months. So I think we're at least going down a good road. It's too early to say, but some of the risks of racing and barreling ahead, moving fast and breaking things is being reduced by the existence of these international fora.
So if you get the big companies agreeing, we're going to proceed cautiously, governments involved, academic stakeholders involved, what are the kind of risks you hope could be avoided?
So one of the very concerning risks is that in a year, maybe in 2 years, we would have AI systems that could do things like hack and attack critical infrastructure. So then people would not have access to water or electricity, and that could create global instability. Another concern is people using these AI systems to create a cookbook for biological weapons. So people could use AI systems to build a civilization-ending pandemic. These risks of malicious use could be addressed if we decide on what the risk mitigation standards are and if we subsidize safety research to make sure that we make these systems more controllable so that we don't lose control of them or so that malicious actors can't use them. So there's a variety of things we'll need to do to reduce these risks.
Let's just pick them on that. Malicious actors, bad actors, people you don't want in charge or to get their hands on this kind of technology. But we know with most technologies, as they've evolved, the bad guys have got hold of them effectively. This isn't going to be any different realistically, is it?
Well, we certainly were able to limit nuclear proliferation, fortunately, and we also had a biological weapons convention. So it's possible that we could get a handle on some of the most hazardous or dangerous forms of artificial intelligence systems as well. Everybody could have access to ones that don't have these weaponization capabilities, but just governments would have access to the ones that could be potentially weaponized. That's hopefully where we'll end up.
Dan Hendricks, great to pick your brain on this. Thank you very much for coming on the programme.